Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and I am your tour guide on the magical mystery tour that is this channel. Today we are doing a full face of Flower Beauty. I've got just a few things here. As you can probably tell, some of their products are quite favourites of mine. Along with, I do love their brushes. Their brushes are pretty darn good. But first up, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you like this at the end, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to ring the notification bell to be alerted when there is any new content. At the moment, it looks like I am doing every Monday, Wednesday, Friday where possible, but not always guaranteed. So first up, I'll be in and out with my glasses at the moment. Look, Flower Beauty is really well known. Obviously we know Drew Barrymore has created the company, and it's become quite a staple. I've got some products, quite a few of her products here. We will be going in with, some of her products are only available online, but we will be going in with, check this out. This is a skin elixir. Then we've got, is this a primer? In the same sort of range, Supernova Celestial, yep, priming whip. So this will be interesting. Let's see how we go. I'm going to use this first, pretty much because I think it's going to need a little bit of time to soak in. So it's got a lot of glitter in it. Just going to, it's too liquidy to even hold up. If you have something that's super liquidy you need to put on your face, put drops in your hands. Here's a tip, rub it like that. Caroline Hirons has taught us that. And now my hands are covered. Glitter doesn't look too bad on there. This is super strong of lavender, and I'm a bit concerned as to how oily it is. It's been, I've had it for a while, but I haven't used it for a very long time. I only put a few drops on. It's too much. I need to clean off my hands to get some of that off. Really strong of lavender oil, essential. It smells like lavender essential oil. Just not sure how I feel about that. This, if you are oily skinned, I would not advise using. I'm trying to get it to soak in a bit. Can you see the concern on my face? Okay, I've got a wet beauty blender. I'm just going to go over that a bit just to see if that'll soak some of it up, because it feels too slick. Okay, now this is the, like I said, the Supernova Celestial Priming Whip. I've had this for ages. Again, I think I've only used it once. Let's see how we go. Okay, purple like the other one. It is a really light mousse. Doesn't have the lavender smell, thank God. I mean, I don't mind lavender. Lavender ice cream is my favourite. Can be quite polarising, but I don't want a huge amount. That was just too strong. This is really interesting. It's absorbing in. Let me just grab this mirror. It's given it a bit of a glow. It feels quite slick. Now I do have the Flower Get Real Serum foundation, but of course what she's known for is the Light Illusion, which is said to be a dupe for Giorgio Armani. I've got two shades. So I've got Porcelain and Nude. Porcelain was a bit too light for me. Nude might be a little bit too dark, so I might need to Frankenstein them a bit. So let me just check. See, that's a little bit yellow for my liking. So I'm doing 3 pumps of Nude and 2 pumps of Porcelain, and I'm just going to mix them together. Don't ever be afraid to mix your products together to get a custom shade. We change shades obviously summer to winter. If you have one product that you love, that's a bit better. If you have one product that you love, it's worth getting 2 shades. Super savvy. This is, it has cult status as one of the best foundations in Australia. I like it. Like, I really like it when it's on. It probably doesn't give the full coverage that I really, really like. Now, I'm going to go in with a foundation brush. I don't have a clean Flower Beauty foundation brush. I use theirs for bronzers and blush. So, just going in with the foundation brush first. And look, this can be, I've gone in hard there. You can see that we're looking quite full coverage. In here, it's pretty medium. So you've got, a lot of people say is full coverage. I find it medium buildable. That being said, I'm normally wearing it over a primer, one of my illuminating primers that probably gives it a bit of slip. This primer has made my skin super grippy, so that's interesting, and I think it's making it want to build up a bit more. Don't forget to come down your neck. Now, initially I've gone in with a brush, but I am going to go in a second with a makeup sponge. So it's up to you, your personal preference of what you prefer, whether it be a brush or a sponge. But if you want to adhere to a certain set of rules, the thicker the product, if it's quite a runny liquid, which this is not, if it's quite a runny liquid, the serum, for example, super runny, absolutely use a brush. A sponge will soak up too much. When it's thicker, a brush, which is what it's done here, has left a few lines, so you're better off going in with a makeup sponge because it's thicker, and that'll press it into the skin better and won't leave lines on your skin. So, and I do prefer this, how it looks, absolutely, with a sponge, my personal preference with that. You can see I've got a pimple there. I don't think the concealer is quite thick enough, full coverage enough to cover it. And that's fine, I'm not that fussy about that. So just pressing that into the skin. Had a bit left over. Now, going in with the concealer. This is a really good concealer. This is something that I've repurchased more than once. I don't go super light. This is really close to my skin tone. It's quite a thin product. I just really like the lighter coverage of it. This is the Flower Beauty concealer brush. It's a cat's paw brush, which is my preference. This does the work for you. So I just, as you saw, just a little bit, just took some off my nose. Just a little bit on the inner corners for me. Getting older, I don't want too much. Just pressing and then bringing out. This brush does all the work for you. I'm not dragging it, I'm just stamping it. Again, press and then work your way out. It's a light natural coverage, it's not super heavy coverage. This is one of my favourite concealers over whether it be high-end or savvy brands. So that says something. And we'll just see, just do a dot there, just give it a second and let it sit. I'll be sad if this gets discontinued. So just again with the cat's paw, normally I would let that sit there a fair bit for it to dry down a bit before I went in with setting powder. And speaking of which, we're just going to let that air dry. The thing with letting your foundation air dry is that it helps prevent cakiness. It helps prevent it getting pasty looking. So speeding up that process with a fan. Okay, we've let that dry down. As you can see, it gives a really nice, pretty full coverage, radiant sort of look to the face. Not too glowy, or I'd say not radiant, satiny. It's pretty natural, but full of coverage. So now going in with the Light Illusion Perfecting Powder to set. Now, let me tell you, can you tell I like it? I've hit pan, and when I'm out of this, I will be repurchasing. So, going in with a big fluffy brush, more loaded up than normal. This is a good alternative to, I'm not going to say dupe because they're not dupes, to be honest. It is a good alternative to Charlotte Tilbury's powder, and in fact I think I prefer this over that. I will repurchase this. I don't think I will repurchase at this stage my Charlotte Tilbury, which is looking about the same, I might add, but I've since found other ones in that end of the market that I much prefer. So that has set down a little bit. Okay, going in now, starting around the base, I am using, this is one of my all-time favourites bronzers. This is the Heatwave Luminous Bronzer in the shade Sunrise. So very similar, if you look at the marbled effect, very similar to Hourglass. This has got a bit of luminosity to it. Don't know if you can see that. Focus there, let me put my hand up. This is only available online, which is a real shame. I wish it was available in store. She's good. She's really good. So going in with Flower Beauty powder brush, I like to use this for my bronzers. And as per usual, around the perimeter of the face to warm it up. This is really reminiscent of the Hourglass bronzers. If you are on a budget, or if you have run out of, if you collect the Hourglass palettes, for example, and you've run out of the bronzer in there, but who runs out of those? This is a really good alternative. Look at a few things that you need online from them and possibly order, because look at that. Pretty neutral. It's not, doesn't throw orange, and it's a really nice glow to it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Going in now, we have for blush, we've got a few options. So we have the Gel Crush blushes, which are exactly that, they're a gel. I have 3 shades in it. So we have, one's peach, one's a pink. Don't ask me to read the shades. I can't. I'm blind. But, actually, no, I was going to say, but we're not using that today. But we actually might. I'm going to go in. Let me just clean off. So, I like, these are their foundation brushes, right? These are the perfect cream product brushes for cream bronzer and cream blush I love them. I have probably, I buy them when they're on sale. I probably have 4 or 5 of them. Just thinking about what shade I'm going to use, because it's going to, thinking about foundation and everything. Look, we'll go in with the Blackberry. This is their most popular shade. And you're thinking, wait, didn't you put powder on your face? Didn't you set your face with setting powder? Haven't you now put a powder bronzer on? Why, yes. Yes, I have. Is it going to look cakey? Is it going to disturb my makeup? Here's a secret. Just rub that onto the palm of my thumb, stamping the brush in with it. You can see a bit of colour there. The trick is you stamp it on. You don't buff it, you don't rub it. You stamp product on. And that blends out. Doesn't, I mean, zoom in. It's not disturbing my makeup at all. I do this all the time. Look at that. That's beautiful. It's a really, really, really nice universal shade. It's not too pigmented. This will go pretty much with any look. You can run to pinks and purples with it. You can go neutral tones with it. I think this is why it's its most popular shade. I'm just looking in my mirror. I'll just show you. This mirror cost me $5 from Kmart. One side is normal. The side that I look in when I'm doing my makeup on here is magnified, and it's right next to the lens. I mean, we all know my eyesight is terrible. It's that good. It's crystal clear and in focus. It's as good at showing me how bad my eyebrows need doing. They need some maintenance. So now to set that, powders. I mean, she's got powder foundation. I've got 4 of them. These flower pots. I mean, if you were after the viral pink from Dior, come on. Save yourself some money. That would be what you would want to get. Over the top. I'm not even going to set that with powder today. I quite like how that is. Now for highlighter, we've got a couple of options here. We have, this is Day Glow. This is a cream highlighter. I mean, look at that. That looks blinding, doesn't it? I don't think I want to use that today though. She also has a shimmer and strobe palette. I've nearly thrown, I mean, the pans on that are getting deep. I haven't hit pan yet. These I've gone to get rid of a few times, and I've decluttered them, and it makes its way back in every damn time. So going in, look, I'm just going in. Oh, this is her Flower Beauty again. This is their blush brush. Do I use it for blush? Nope, I use it for highlighter. And I'm just going in between the 3. Just on the high points of the apples of the cheeks, centre of the nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and then just in with the champagne shade again above the eyebrows. I like to do this area. So what it does is it bounces light off. We create high points, bounce the light off. This is really good. As I said, I've gone to declutter it a few times and it's made its way back in. Okay, brow time. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. What I forgot to mention was, I mean, how stupid is this? Of course, for highlighter, she's got the, again, it is a Charlotte Tilbury dupe. I mean, look at the packaging. This is the shade Spotlight, and I think my Charlotte Tilbury one is. So these are a bit dried out. I am not a big fan of these wands. I think they're gross and they're grotty. I do make an exception though for the blush in these, but the highlight and the contour just drive me mental with how grotty they get. Okay, so take a look. This is, can we get in? This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Flower Beauty. I will say the Flower Beauty is slightly thicker, and irregardless of what anyone says, with any of these highlighting wands and the dupes that are on the market, they are good. And if you want to save money, yes, but if you have used Charlotte Tilbury, they just don't blend out as good as Charlotte Tilbury does. So they're trying to dupe and they're trying to look exactly the same. They're not quite. Okay, for brows, I've got the Skinny Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Brunette and Medium Brown. I'm going to go in with Brunette today, hopefully. This brush is interesting on the end. It's like a little mini toothbrush, but it is definitely a micro brow pencil. So just bear with me while I do my brows. I'm going to hop off camera and do my brows with this, and then we will come back. Okay, we're back. I have done the brows. This is a really, really good brow pencil for the price point of it. The only thing that I will say is that it's probably, I don't know if waxier is the right term. It's certainly creamier than a lot of other pencils on the market. I prefer probably a slightly drier, bit firmer, but I mean, I'm just nitpicking, to be honest. We now have brow mascara. I have got this in the shade Medium Dark. I haven't used this for a while. I think the issue that I had with this is the size of the brush. I'd prefer the brush to be about 1/3 of the size. And that's not nitpicking, that's just for someone that has a decent set of brows. If I am struggling with it, putting that through, I can't even imagine what someone with thinner brows is like. So in order to maintain a bit of control over it, it'd just be nice to have a finer brow like nearly every other brow product that is there on the market. Okay, I'm just going to hop off camera again and prep my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot. You don't need to see that. Okay, so we're back and the eyes are primed. We've got a few different options for eyeshadows today. So she's got her quads in the Petal Play quads. So she has Gilded Lily. I'm just trying to get this so that it's not super reflective. This is really pretty. This is, if you are into shimmers, I mean, the issue with it is that it doesn't have, they're all shimmer, satiny shimmer finishes. There is no depth in that. She also has Gilded Lily, which is gorgeous. Which if you're into neutrals, this one I adore. And then she also has, I'm not sure if she's got more than these three. She also has Barrymore, similar sort of thing. This is a rose-based family. But she has larger palettes as well. So she also, this one is Sugar Rush, which has a few neutrals and some mauves, some purples. I think we're going to go in with that. I thought that I would go in with Gilded Lily, which is the neutral one, or Barrymore, but I'm going to try something different. We're not going to go too hard today. I mean, it's the weekend. Let's just make something easy. I don't know if this will fit in there. She's got a, Flower Beauty has a double-ended brush. This is quite large, so that's, how deep's that? I don't want to do too much in the eyes today, so I'm just going to use this neutral, this brown here. I know, it sounds boring, but let's see how we go. There's a fair bit of fallout in that. It's not a bad thing. I'm just going across both eyes with this because that's got a fair bit of pigment to it. I'm not a huge lover of this brush, I do have to say. I'm holding it down the end as per usual. Really with this, because this is quite pigmented, don't forget teacup hold, we need to be able to blend that out and not make it too intense. If you want your eyeshadow to be seen, particularly if you have hooded eyes, don't forget to look straight ahead into a mirror. Don't look down into one. And certainly initially, if you're wanting this part to be seen, straight ahead. If you're not too sure about it, don't forget one of my first videos was Eyeshadow 101 and blending using one shade to do that. It's a really good lesson to watch. It will teach you a lot about how to build eyeshadow, because in there, and you can follow along, it's nice and slow, you can follow along and build depth and intensity with one shade. Once you do that, honestly, you can get faster with it. You can do a lot. So, I don't know why I'm still sitting here holding this like this. Please see it. I'm just going to clean off my brush now. And you'll find that's something I do a lot. I don't tend to swap around brushes a lot. I'm still going back in. Now I've just cleaned that off. This is to help just diffuse it a bit more. As I said, we're not doing too much today with it. Just dipped in a little bit there because it just grabbed. It was looking a little bit patchy. And just tilting to the other side. I don't know why I go a bit quieter as I talk about blending this out. Please don't look too closely here. I don't know how much it's showing up. I can see about 1,000 eyebrow hairs that need to be gotten rid of. You're so lucky. Okay, so I'm not sure what this brush is like. This is the brush that came with it. Going in with the matte. This is sort of a more burgundy shade up the end, just to deepen the outer corner. I'm not deepening it too much, it's just going to give it a bit of a tonal difference. Bring it into this triangular area. And like I said, I'm not going to do too much. Have I got? Okay, now dipping between, I'm going to go a little bit rogue today. So dipping between that warm brown and that burgundy, we're just going to go straight in under the eyes with this brush. This is actually a really good brush for under eyes. It's perfect size. And is that enough there? No, dip back in. Across. Clean that brush off and then go back in again. You can go a bit ham this time, and that's just diffusing that out. It will also stop any creasing that you're worried about underneath your eyes, and then just tickle it in a little circle out there to blend it all together. You can see that's pretty quick. Now for the top of the lid, we have got this shimmer, and we've got this one, which reminds me of an old Too Faced shade. I think we're going to go in with the lighter, this sort of peachy, it's like a white peach look. And just tapping that across the lid. Do you know, I had this is another one. I had this in my declutter. I've just gone through and decluttered a whole heap of eyeshadows in particular, but decluttered a heap of makeup. I've got a couple of boxes outside of this room waiting for me to go through and sanitize to give away to family and friends. But, and I pulled this out just to have in for this particular video, and I think she's going to stay, because have a look at that. I was like, I don't need too much of a purple eyeshadow palette. But look at what we've created. That is super neutral, pretty darn natural. So you can go super, super purpley with it. Or you've got this, it's very reminiscent of, is it Eyes to Mesmerise by Charlotte Tilbury? She's staying. I'm really happy with that. The little brush just going in now into that peach shade again, just in the inner corner, a little bit there. She's made her way back. She doesn't need to, but she has. Okay, so I'm just going to go in. This is a gel liner, Bronzed Out I think it's called, is the shade. Just going into the waterline. Not too intensely. These are a gel, so they do build up. Really good. Okay, so my favourite lip liners are her Perfect Pout lip liners. They're my all-time favourite shades from her. I think this is a shade Taupe. It's worn off the barrel. I've fondled it that much. I love the angle of these lip liners. I've got a backup of this that I've also worn off the shade. I know it when I see it. And I do think it is a taupe. I've got red, I've got hot pink, toffees. It's just, you can use it all over, or you can just use as a liner. It's great for overlining. And just overlining the Cupid's bow there. Gorgeous product. Okay, for lips, I have lipsticks. I have a lot of Flower Beauty lip products. The Petal Pout, I think it is her matte version. This is Spiced Petal, which is a pretty close dupe for Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. And then what did I say that was? Perfect Pout? Then the other one is Petal Pout, I want to say. That is a more luminous, more creamy. This is the shade, it's a rose. I'm just going to have to do it, put my glasses on. What have we got? Blush Rose. So, and that is Perfect Pout. So Perfect Pout is the more hydrating. Petal Pout is the matte. So this is Blush Rose. And she's a juicy. It would have been very easy to use the Petal Pout. It's longer lasting. Ice Spice. That lipstick, let me tell you, Ice Spice, I spent months trying to hunt that down. But as far as her lipsticks are concerned, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I've got 12 lipsticks and 2 of the lip tints. I love this shade. I love this formula. It's probably the most products I have of a chemist brand, which is really telling you something, I guess, is that I'm realizing how many of her products are actual favorites. Okay, before I go in with mascara, let's try this. This is the mattifying, the Air. Look at this. I got this one day when I was looking way too slick for work. This is not what I want to wear today, but for the purpose of this, I am absolutely putting it on. It does matte down a bit. It is super holding, but it's made me quite matte. I do keep one in my drawer at work for that exact reason. If I'm looking way too shiny and I just need to touch up really quickly. So lastly, we are going in with mascara. Now I have Warrior Princess and Lash Warrior. I'm going in with Lash Warrior. Warrior Princess, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Well, I'm not sure how I feel about Lash Warrior either. I do know that this is a very loved mascara. And I've been really closed off about mascaras. I'm really particular about them. But as I'm doing this now, I am actually quite liking how it looks. I am naughty. Can't tell you how long this has been in my drawer. If you are someone that throws out your mascara every 12 weeks, good on you. I'm not. If it starts to get super clumpy, if it starts to cause eye irritation, that's when I will get rid of it. If it's drying out, I generally try to put a few drops of like a Visine or something in it to see how it goes. But I mean, this has not had a lot of use. And in actual fact, I think it's wrong that it hasn't had a lot of use. I think this is coming out onto my desk of products that I like to keep about to use. This is going back in rotation. Isn't that interesting? I will say a lot of mascaras that don't generally wow me, particularly when they're freshly opened. I will open a mascara and it'll be very rare that you'll find me open a mascara and use for the first time on a video at the moment, mainly because it's very, very rare that I will like one on first use. Sometimes they're way too gluggy. They don't grip to your eyelashes very well. I find that if I open it a few times over the course of a week or two later, once some air's got in there, it tends to make it work better. So if you've used a product and you've hated it initially, just open it every couple of days, close it. Don't pump air into it. You don't need to do that. You just need to pull the brush out, put it back in. Do that a few times over a week, go back to it a week after that and see how you go with it, because some have ended up being favourites. That being said, the L'Oreal Panorama, loved it from the get-go. I really like that. I'm really surprised. Okay, so that is it. That is a full face of Flower Beauty. It's I did this because somebody asked me to do Flower Beauty, and let me tell you, it's made me fall back in love with a lot of the products. They've been pretty neglected recently, so I think I'm going to start using them again. You might see them in rotation a bit more. Certainly this mascara is now going to live on my desk for a little while. What else am I mean, the lip liners, without fail, all day, every day. I will always use them. Forgot how much I liked the blush, the gel blush. That's really nice. The products that I don't like, I'm not really a big fan of this lip tint stain. I don't think it lasts very long. I am not a fan of this. Look, to be honest, I haven't really used it enough. It just doesn't grab me. I'm not particularly a fan of the highlighter wand. This, it dries out too quickly. It doesn't blend as nice as Charlotte Tilbury, in all honesty. Her blush, powder blush, is always beautiful. The bronzer is fantastic again if you are ever going to do an order online, because it's a damn shame this is not available in store. Order this. Order this. There's 2 different shades, I think, if I ever do another online order, and I placed an online order very specifically to get that. And I think these Celestial products, when they came out, were not available in store either. But that, when I run out of this, I will order online again and again and again and again. It's probably one of my most used powder bronzers. Let's see. To be quite honest, like I said, this is handy. I'm pretty normal in my skin. I'm not an oily person. If you like matte, this might work for you. I only have it in my drawer for emergencies. If I have gone way too ham when I'm doing my makeup in the morning, sometimes I can look like I've been slapped with Tinkerbell's ass, to be honest. These, hate them, not a fan. This, I don't know what that is. I don't like, I mean, I'm cringing just. I have a product that I didn't use today. This highlighter thing, it's not great. The lipsticks, lip liners, eyeliners, blush products. I mean, the foundation, we know, everyone knows that's great. The powders, it's 90% wins, like 90% wins with it. The brushes are, if you have not used these, get onto them when they're on sale. These are some of my favorite brushes of all time, not just chemist brands. Like I said, I have 5 or 6 of these, 4, 5 or 6. I've lost count. They're all over the place. These are great. It's a foundation brush. You can use it for, get one for foundation, get one for cream bronzer, get one for cream blush. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful brush. This you can skip. It's not great. This is beautiful. The concealer, the highlighter brush, another, well, it's their blush brush, so it'll make a good blush brush. I just don't. Eyebrow, like I said, the eyebrow pencil, it's really great. It's really pigmented, really easy to use. It's probably just got a bit more slip than what I like. The mascara, mascara brow product. This brush, like, I mean, it's the width of my eyeball, for God's sake. Just too big. It's not a bad product. It's just awkward. So I do have one eyeliner. I love this shade. I just don't use liquid eyeliner, to be honest. So if you haven't tried Flower Beauty, I mean, it's pretty much as good as high end, to be quite honest. If you'd seen my Revlon video where I talked about them doing better, this is what I'm talking about. For what we have in chemists nowadays, we've got someone like Flower Beauty coming in, even Milani, their products are made all over the world. They're really quite comparable with high end as well. So if you are a Chemist Warehouse girly, absolutely go in and pick and poke and try everything. Pick up a few things when they're on sale. They always have sales. You won't be disappointed. I'm really happy with how my face is looking today. I'm gonna go out for lunch now. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Until next time, look, if you have any brand that you're really interested in me having a poke about and having a play with, absolutely sound off in the comments. If there is anything that you are particularly interested in, please let me know. So in the meantime, don't forget to tell your mum, tell your sister, tell your friends to come along and join this community. Until next time, bye.